Isabel, Jeffares, 2852 Pearl Street. I was here last Monday night, and all of the meeting, or lack of, is on film. I want you folks to notice the contingency of officers we have here. They're not out in the streets taking care of our homes. They're here supposedly protecting y'all. You know you need protection. Miss Hubbard accidentally last week opened the car door of Miss Katie Blevins and put her items inside Miss Blevins' car. You know Miss Blevins, Mr. Rhodes, the one that you falsely charged. Wonder what you were up to last week. And then to add to the intimidation factor by these officers, you sent the police up here to get her. Hoping what? That we'd shut off the camera? It didn't happen. Camera's still running. Film on eastpointdocs.com. They can see your behavior. I was here. These 5, and I have to say maybe the 6th, Miss Langford, had it planned. They had no plans to sit here through a 60-item agenda without their puppet master, who hadn't been to work in a couple of weeks, because what he nods, you do. That's not representing the people. And frankly, I don't need you to represent me. I can afford me. But how dare you for the rest of the city? And how dare you for Ward A? My God, my neighborhood looks like a third world country, and you live there. You live there, Mr. Bennett. Thank you. Thank you so much for representing us last week. Thank you for doing what you've done tonight. Now, Ms. Montgomery, most of y'all won't see this because, like I said, we were the only ones filming it. Ms. Montgomery stated last week that we had a $5.2 million surplus. Woohoo! So why are we financing everything? We can't afford so much as a trash can without financing it. And financing it not for 1 or 2 or 3, it's 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 years. If we had this surplus, and I don't know where she got that from. I guess she must have been pulling her strings while you were up there and wherever you are. Then we don't need to finance anything. Our streets should be paved in, well, maybe not gold, but how about silver? How about they get paved? How about those sidewalks? How about those bus stops someplace besides in Mr. Rhodes' pet peeve neighborhoods? Okay? We have to stop. You have to stop. You, Miss Hubbard, have to stop rolling your eyes. You, Miss Hubbard, have to stay awake. And if you can't stay awake long enough to go out to somebody's car that's not parked anyplace near yours and open her car door, what were you planning? I don't put anything past any of you. I'm getting time.
Charles Zeta Cobb.
There you go. Okay, the Wachovia building. Well, the former Wachovia building. Another piece of property, congratulations. To do what? To fall into disrepair. How many do we own? Now, you didn't hear me last week because you were busy having your illegal meeting out in the hallway, okay? And then y'all came back as a group. This is the only building that hasn't fallen into disrepair. And you know why? Because you guys don't own it. You don't manage it. Everything else this city touches turns into trash. What does that say about how much you respect the people that live here? Ms. Gibbons, you ride around. Do you tell the people what you do or don't do? What have any of you done? Except for maybe, I'll give 3 of you. In the past 4 or 5 or 6 or 7, what have you actually done? Changed a word in an ordinance? Gee, thanks, Mr. Rhodes. What have you done for this city? Look at this city. And what did you do last week? If you worked for me, and you, well, I guess you kind of do because I pay my taxes and utilities and on time and in full. If you worked for me, you not only wouldn't have gotten paid for last week, I would have terminated well, I'm not going to say that. I would have terminated you all. You are a disgrace. And if, again, this is to spite that woman, that's one person. You ain't hurting her. You're hurting everybody that lives in this city. Code enforcement, they better get on the stick. And I'm saying this to every police officer in here. I've got houses, again, I can speak from my end of the neighborhood, that have been vacant, boarded up, full of sewage. They're not on the 50 worst list, and you know which ones I'm talking about, right, Steve? But your buddies got on the 50 worst list, didn't they? Yeah, and that gentleman that owns those dilapidated houses still owes the city of East Point thousands of dollars worth of taxes. That's how much we respect you. That's how much anybody that comes into the city respects you. What an embarrassment. What a disgrace y'all are. November cannot come soon enough. We have such plans for all of you, such plans, but it won't be up here because everybody's tired of you. Everybody's tired of you because they're not up here speaking. They all know what you're not doing. How can you? How do you? And some of y'all have family here, and some of you were raised here. How do you do this? How do you do this to spite her? Please, she's fine. She got money in the bank. I hope the rest of y'all can say the same. Oh, and find that $5.2 million and put it to, don't take it back wherever you're going, Mr. Jones.
Juanita Crater.